This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington with Discover Brightside, where we discover new things every day. And I am so excited to bring to you Kris, who's going to talk to you about monthly clubs. Now, this could be something that you could enjoy for yourself, or it could be a gift that you could give during the holiday season. So, Kris, tell me a little bit about your story and what made you start the monthly clubs.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me on board to share what we do with your customers and your visitors. That's awesome. We started this business actually 30 years ago this year in July of 1994. I had worked for IBM for 5 years out of school, and then I traveled. I took a leave of absence for a year and a half and traveled with a buddy of mine, and basically didn't have to worry about much other than which way to go when we left the youth hostel each morning, left or right. And during that trip, I discovered a lot of really good craft beer, largely in Europe, but in Belgium and other hotspots in Europe, the UK, that wasn't really being embraced wholeheartedly in the US at the time. You know, at that time back in '94, big brands really dominated the marketplace. The guys that you're familiar with, Budweiser and Miller Lite, and Shiner Bock was considered a craft beer in Texas when it's really not. And what was happening in 1994 was that the same kind of thing that happened in wine 30 years earlier. There was a real interest in the whole craft and handmade artisanal products. So craft beer was really starting to catch on. People were starting to pay attention to it and prefer it over other products. We found that there were a lot of places outside of California, Southern California, actually, where we're located, has a pretty good collection of craft beer. I mean, even back in '94, we had a decent amount of breweries. We're like 100 breweries in the state back then, which was a lot for any state. But in many other places, you really didn't have access to good craft beer. And one of the other trends that was happening, there were a couple of books I read back in the day when we were trying to figure out what business plan we wanted to run with. One was the Faith Popcorn wrote a book called The Popcorn Report. There was another one called Mega Trends, and they identified trends that if in fact your business model was hitting on some of these key trends that they saw coming, the idea was you'd have a better chance of succeeding. And the beer club model, which is what we founded the business on, was hitting on a lot of those trends. One of them was the gourmetification of American products. So, Americans having a better appreciation for high-end chocolates, artisanal cheeses, a lot of the stuff that we do was just starting in bread. You couldn't get really a good loaf of bread 30 years ago in the U.S. market, right? Not like you can now. So that was a trend that we really played in well too. And then also another one that they called the cocooning of American consumerism, or something to that effect, which is essentially e-commerce, right? Where we're all sitting, at home, and we're on our laptops and our iPads, and we're ordering things and having everything delivered. And so those were just two, but we were hitting on probably 6 or 7 of the 10, big mega trends that were identified back then. And so it seemed like it was a good one to move forward with. So I had a partner at the time, and we launched based on a lot of the same kind of guiding principles that we had at IBM. We were like, we gotta have top quality. Quality is number one, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're still here 30 years later. And there's been a lot of other beer clubs that have come and gone over the years, and we put a lot of energy into the product curation. So, for example, with our beer club, we have what we call beer panel. And we have guys that are master brewers. We've got guys that are actually cicerones, which it's kind of the equivalent of a sommelier in the beer space. And we sit down once a week, sometimes every couple of weeks, and we rate beer. They know what the styles are, but they don't know what the breweries are that are featuring these products. So that any predispositions towards a brewery might in fact not get wouldn't change how you're going to rate the beer if you knew where that beer was coming from. So we do a blind tasting, and the bottom line is, one of our taglines that we like to use is we drink a lot of bad beers so our customers don't have to, because frankly there's a lot of stuff out there that's pretty mediocre. In the early days, there was a lot of products that were contaminated. And you wouldn't notice it unless you really had a palate for it, but that contamination would get worse with more time in the bottle and the can. So what we're trying to do is put products in front of our customers that have gone through our beer panel. We stand 100% behind them. If you get something you don't like, we've got 100% guarantee. But at the end of the day, we're trying to help our customers explore and navigate the various product categories that we're shipping. Get to try maybe some products that you might not try otherwise on your own, like a big, 10% plus Russian Imperial Stout that's brewed in a small brewery in Kentucky. And really, the only way you can try that beer is if you happen to live within 20 miles of that brewery, because they're not distributing broadly. So what we do is we'll bring those guys in, we'll ship them to our warehouse, and we'll repack them with a variety of different other products. So that's kind of a common theme with the 6 products that we offer. We actually offer 5 different beer clubs. We have 4 different wine clubs. We do 2 different artisanal cheese clubs. We have a chocolate club, a flower club where we're shipping bouquets each month. And then we have 2 different cigar clubs. And a key theme between all of those guys is that you can really see a lot of variety both within the box as well as from month to month. So with respect to beer, we're going to ship out in most of the packages that we send out. There's going to be 4 different beer styles, in some cases from as many as 4 different breweries. So you're getting to try a lot of different variety of beer style, where the beer was made. Same thing with cheeses. If we ship out 3 different cheeses each month, we're going to send out probably 1 from Switzerland, 1 from the US, and maybe a French cheese. So there's a lot of variety in terms of where they come from and the types of products that we're shipping. We send out a newsletter with each one of the shipments, and that's true of all 6 products. And that newsletter, the focus of that is really to give people a better appreciation for what we're shipping. We think of ourselves more as helping people explore and take a journey and learn about the products. It's a lot cooler when you're eating a cheese that's made from this small little creamery somewhere in Switzerland, when you know that they've only got 14 cows. They use the milk from those cows. Those cows all have names. And then there's a cool story about the origin of that cheese style. And so the newsletter really, I think, gives you a much better appreciation for where these cheeses come from, the real artisanal nature of the product that they're trying that month. But then also we have tasting notes. Of course, we want to tell you what you be looking for when you're tasting this wine or this cheese or this cigar. What might it pair with? With cigars, we pair different alcohol beverages. With cheese, we also pair beverages a lot of time. With beer and wine, we're suggesting foods that would accompany the products that we're shipping. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling a little bit there, not even giving you a chance to ask a second question.
No, I think this is fabulous because, beer has become so popular. I don't think there's any city now that doesn't have a beer fest. And people love this concept of collecting, or trying new breweries. I mean, this is just taken us by storm. And similar with wine, and not just, I think just going to Napa Valley or going to a vineyard, trying different wines kind of makes you a connoisseur, sort of. So you actually help them with that collection. And I think that's
Yeah.
just such an amazing thing. I actually come from a corporate as well. I used to be on the advertising agency side, servicing Pfizer and Novartis, big pharma clients.
Sure.
And so I just know exactly where you're coming from with the high quality and with giving people the opportunity to be in part of a big club is very, very interesting. So coffee, do you have a coffee club? Because there's coffee
That's a funny
clubs.
story. We have some competitors that do the 6 products that we do, and then some. And we found early on that we didn't want to be one of those. We really took a hard look at coffee.
Yes,
That would have been the next product, the next logical extension for us. We own all the URLs that, in fact, we would use if, in
yes,
fact, we did launch a coffee club. But at the end of the day, to do it right, it really takes a lot of energy. The curation
yes.
process is pretty time consuming, and in updating the websites, and we have 6 different websites, 1 for each one of the products. We decided to focus on the 6 that we've been doing. The last 3 clubs that we launched, or product categories, were like in 2000 when we launched cheese and chocolate. What we've done instead is we've launched new types of cheese boxes or types of beer boxes within that product category. So we used to have just 1 beer club. Now we have one that ships all US craft beers. We have another one that ships only imported beers. Then we have one that marries those two clubs, and so it's half imports and half US craft beers. We have one that's all hop-centric beers. So you probably, I don't know, maybe you may not be aware of the fact that hoppy beers like India Pale Ales, IPAs, those have just taken this country by the storm, really in the
So,
last 5 years.
yeah. So how does somebody join the club? I mean, do they sign up? Do they go to your website? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do it. You could certainly go to our website. We have the primary website, which is monthlyclubs.com. That's a page that doesn't have any shopping carts on it, but it basically tells you a little bit about the 6 different clubs and allows you to, collect, basically bounce out to the specific club. So there's 6 different product clubs, one for beer, one for wine, one for cigar, cheese, chocolate, and flowers. If you start at monthlyclubs.com, that's the easiest way to bounce out to them. You could also call us. We've got our own in-house customer service team. That was another thing that kind of came from the IBM background, is that we really wanted to provide customer service second to none. Kind of take that Nordstrom's approach to customer service and make sure that all of our customers are happy at the end of the phone call. So you could call us at 800-625-8238. We like to think that from a gifting standpoint, we offer a lot of unique kind of gift value propositions. And so this is the biggest time of year for us. We do more than half of our business in about a 6-week period annually each year. And that's because we are a pretty cool gift. I mean, it's a reoccurring product. So instead of getting a one-time gift on the 25th that may or may not be appreciated a week later, you're getting something that arrives, every month for as long or the duration of the gift that you want to give. You can give anywhere from 2 months to 12 shipments, and you can choose however frequently you want to ship them. So you might ship a beer shipment monthly or every other month or quarterly even. So some people will say, okay, my budget allows me to ship 4 shipments, but I wanted to span the whole year, so I'm going to ship it quarterly. So they get a shipment every 3 months. We also have a really neat program called Design Your Own Club, and you can do that on any one of the product websites. Design Your Own Club is pretty much what it sounds like. We've got this really cool interface. It's like a calendar, and you can go in there and you can decide what do you want to ship in any given month. So in December, it's like maybe, well, I don't know what kind of beer dad likes, so I'm going to get him the rare beer club for his first shipment. Then I'm going to get him a hop-centric, hoppy beer club for his second shipment. Then I'll get him the import club for his third shipment. Or you can combine across the product categories. And a lot of people during the holidays do this. They will give wine for the first shipment, then cheese, then wine, then cheese, and alternate between 2 products or even more. You can even pick specific months that you want to ship. So for people that want to push the easy button and say, you know what, I want to take care of mom for the whole year, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, Christmas, wedding
That's right.
anniversary, they can say, okay, ship something in January, then skip 3 months, then ship it in April or May, and then skip 2 months, ship in something for Valentine's Day in February. And so that way you can set up one highly customized, personalized membership one time, pay for it, and it's on autopilot. There's no wrapping, no trips to the post office, we like to say. So it really is quite easy from a gifting standpoint. And with 6 different product categories, the pitch that we're making to our customers on a regular basis is that we'd like to think that we've got something for everybody. And if you don't find a product in our product line that doesn't appeal to you, you might want to check your pulse, because you might not be alive.
So yeah, I think that 30 years has taught you a lot, because this is definitely a customizable world where everybody wants to do their own thing. So I think this has got so many flexible options, and I think it's just so wonderful. And I know the whole singles market, because we have a lot of singles in our group. They don't have to wait for a boyfriend to send them flowers or a girlfriend. They could just join the club and have all the goodies that you would normally have in a dating relationship. So you could get that sent to you as well. So
A lot
whether
of
you're
people like to share the products.
for someone else, I
Yeah.
think it works for one.
To your point, a lot of people will actually share the products. We've got some cool testimonials over the years where a son-in-law, gets himself a
Yes,
beer club shipment and he gets the same one for his father-in-law. And they use it
that's
as an
right.
excuse to get together once a month and, and build a relationship, right? And so,
Yes,
and we have people that get together and they have cheese tasting groups and they'll order a couple of shipments each month and they'll get 12 people together and they'll host a little cheese tasting party. So it can be
yeah,
made into really whatever you want. It could be a social event, or it could be a Valentine's gift of a product like wine that appeals to both people, the person giving and the person receiving, and you use that as an excuse to spend time.
yeah. Wonderful. I think it really is the perfect gift for this holiday season. And I think with so much going on in the world, I think what better gift than a gift that keeps on giving. So go to monthlyclub.com and we'll make sure that we have all this information in our newsletter as well. And we will cover the story throughout the holidays. So you're not going to miss where the link is or how to get it. And of course, you can always call us if you need more information about this service. So thank you for watching. And thank you, Kris. I know you're so busy and we really, really appreciate it. You're watching Discover Bright Side. Kris, we've discovered you on this channel and you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe. And if you do order anything from the monthly club, let us know so that we know that the channel is working and that you're supporting us. Thank you for watching.
Will make you look good.